average weight of women in the United States is 164.7 pounds. These weights are normally distributed with a standard deviation of 37.5 pounds. If one woman is randomly selected from the U.S. population, what is the probability that she weighs more than 175 pounds? Okay, so since they said these weights are normally distributed, right? Since they mentioned that, we'll go ahead and draw a bell curve as a visual aid. And then we're going to label the given information. Now, they did say the standard deviation was 37.5 pounds, so it's a good habit to kind of put that on your drawing somewhere so you have that as a reference. And then remember that the mean should be located in the center of the curve. Now, I'm going to label a z-axis centered at 0, and then I'm going to have an x-axis, which I'm going to use for the weights. So the average weight is 164.7. I'm going to put that in the center of the curve, indicating where the mean is located. All right, now from there, I'm going to put the reference value they're asking about on the number line, the x number line, because that's a weight, in the appropriate location. Since it's larger than 164.7, it's going to go on the right. So I'll put my 175 here. And then I'll draw a line on my visual aid drawing above so I know where that is located. And then since it says more than that number, I'm going to shade to the right because those are the values that are greater than 175, right? Now, at this point, what I would do is essentially try to look up or determine that area, but I can't do that unless I have a z-score. And this x value of 175 is not a z-score. So my first thing is to convert that into a z-score. So I'm going to say that z is equal to the score I want to convert minus the mean, so 164.7, divided by the standard deviation, which we wrote down to be 37.5. Let's go ahead and convert that into a z-score. So we will have 175 minus 164.7. Close it up, and we'll divide that by 37.5. And when we're done, we get a decimal answer 0.27 if you round off to 2 decimal places, 0.27. So this is approximately 0.27. And that's what will go right here on my z number line. So what I'm saying is that 175 is the same as 0.27 as a z-score. Okay, and if I look up 0.27, I'll get the area from here to here, which is not the area I'm looking for, but I can use it to get the area I want. So let's go to our z-chart and look that up. So we're looking for the area looking for the z-score 0.27 to find the area associated with that. So I look up 0.2, then 7 here in this column, and I find the answer 0.1064. So that's 0.1064. Now, that's not the area I'm looking for. To get the area I'm looking for, I have to say, okay, the whole half of the curve is 50%, right? Which is as a decimal 0.5 or 0.500. And then I'm going to subtract off the part that I know, which is the part that's not shaded, 1064. And so the leftover amount will be the answer I'm looking for. So we finish this up by just saying 0.5 minus 0.1064. And then we get the answer 0.3936. So 0.3936 or 39.36%. And that makes sense, of course, because this is about 11%. So we should have about 39% in the shaded tail that we're looking for, right? So this is the answer that we want. About 39% of women in the United States are heavier than 175 pounds.